Hello everyone. Today we will be learning about dividend decision. This is the third type of financial decision. First was investment decision, second was financing decision, and the third is dividend decision. We have already studied about investment decision and financing decision and the factors affecting investment and financing decision. Today we will be learning about dividend decision. Dividend decision is related with distribution of decision about decision related with distribution of dividend. Now before understanding about the distribution of dividend, we have to understand what is dividend. Dividend is the proportion of profit which is paid to the shareholders. So it is always the proportion of profit. That means if the company is not earning any profit, there will be no dividend payout. If the company is earning good profit over the period of time, we will see that always there is higher dividend per share which is given to the shareholders. So how this dividend decision is taken? In this thing, in dividend decision, basically decision is taken, decision about proportion of profit to be paid to shareholders and proportion of profit to be retained as reserve for reinvestment in business. This is what is dividend decision. Again, I am reminding you, if an organization is having a profit and if it decides %60 dividend out of profit and 40% to be retained in business. So it shows how the profit has been distributed in the organization in the form of dividend per share to the shareholders and how much proportion has been retained in business for reinvestment. So this is what is dividend decision. Now there are certain factors which has to be taken into consideration before this decision is taken about the proportion of dividend and the proportion to be retained in business. The first factor is on the basis of earnings. So there is every possibility that if the earnings are higher, higher earnings, higher dividend will be there. But this earning is not only present year's earning, but also past year's earning is taken into consideration for declaring higher dividend. If an organization has earned good profit in the current year, but in the past years it has not earned reasonably good, then the possibility of providing higher dividend is less. But always the chances become more of providing greater dividend if the accumulated profits, which includes not only current year's earning but also past year's earning, is high, that will provide higher dividend. Now, second is stability of earning. So greater is the stability of earning, that means regular earning, regular stable earning is taking place in the organization, always greater will be the chance of higher dividend. If the earning is unstable, then always less dividend or lower dividend will be paid by the business organization. Third is stability of dividend. Just keep this in mind. The second point was stability of earnings. Third is stability of dividend. Always the business organization adopts stable dividend policy. Stable dividend policy means fixing the dividend within some range, say 20 to 25% every year, unless the earning capacity of business organization increases. When we say earning capacity or earning potential of business organization, that means it doesn't include only current year's earning, but also past year's earning, and there is always a possibility that in future also the business is going to do well and it is going to earn well. Then only there is chance that dividend, the rate of dividend per share is going to increase. Otherwise, within a certain range, the business organization fixes the dividend so that neither more nor less dividend be paid to the shareholders, and that gives them satisfaction, that return on investment is at least coming to them regularly. And this is what is stability of dividends. Fourth point is growth opportunities. If the business organization is having greater or higher growth opportunities, always less dividend is paid and more is retained in business to be reinvested. Invested. Greater growth opportunities, less dividend. This is very, very important. Sometimes in 1 mark question, when it is asked in the exam, if the company is having growth opportunities, how is it going to pay dividend? So it will always pay less dividend, because dividend decision is not only related with proportion of dividend or the rate of dividend, but also the proportion of profit which is retained in business. So if the company is having growth opportunities, that means in the future there is possibility of growth of the company to take place, it will require more investment. And if it will require more investment, if it retains more portion of profit and declares lower dividend to the shareholders, it will not have to make arrangement up to the retained amount which has been reinvested in business. So it will be exempted from that. And that is why growing companies or companies which is having higher growth opportunities will always declare lower dividend and vice versa, and retain more in business. Cash flow position. Always dividend is paid in cash. In cash. And also we have learned that dividend is paid out of profit. So an organization having both greater liquidity along with greater profitability can declare higher dividend. If the organization is having higher profitability, that means profitability has increased, but if the cash flow position is not strong or the liquidity position is weak, then the chance of declaring higher dividend is less. We have to understand this. Shareholders' preference. Dividend is also paid as per the preference of the shareholders. Sometimes the shareholders prefer regular dividends, sometimes the shareholders prefer regular dividend per share, sometimes the shareholders may need accumulated gains or capital gains. So whatever is the preference of the shareholders, on their preference the dividend decision is taken. If they prefer for accumulated gains, then they are paid higher amounts altogether. If they prefer regular dividends, then always the you may say the percentage of dividend will be low as compared to accumulated gains. That is the possibility. So it depends on that. Taxation policy, the 7th factor. If tax on dividend is high, then lower dividend is paid and more is retained in business. Retained in business and vice versa. Although we see that shareholders, they always prefer higher dividend, because whenever the dividend comes to the portion of dividend profit which is distributed as dividend comes to them, it is free from tax, because companies generally they have to pay dividend distribution tax, and if the companies have paid the dividend distribution tax, then once it comes in the hands of shareholders in the form of dividend payouts, they are free from paying tax. So they always prefer higher dividends. But company takes the decision, always seeing if the tax rate is high, then they go for paying lower dividend and vice versa. Stock market reaction. If the company wants to have positive reaction of stock market, it should always pay higher dividend and vice versa, because if the rate of dividend is high, the stock market is going to react positively. Access to capital market. Capital market is the long-term market of trading securities, long-term securities. So companies, especially large companies, have greater access to capital market, and if they have greater access to capital market, always they don't rely on retained earnings, but they prefer higher dividends to be paid to the shareholders, because if they need funds, they can make that arrangement from the capital market. They have that source because they have easy access to capital market, so they pay higher dividend. Whereas small companies, they don't have that easy access, and so always we see that they are more dependent on retained earnings. That is why they prefer to give lower dividends if the company earns profit. Now, legal constraints or restraints. Sometimes the company's act puts restriction on dividend payout, which has to be avoided. And that is why we see that the dividend is paid as per the norms or the provisions of the Companies Act. If it has fixed a certain range, then it has to abide by that range and declare the dividend. Likewise, last is the contractual constraints. If the company has taken any loan, so contractual constraint in the form of loan agreement, and that loan agreement restricts company for higher dividend payout, because sometimes whenever the loan is taken by the companies, the lenders, they put that restriction on the borrowers that in case of profit they cannot declare higher dividend than a fixed percentage, then that also has to be abided by or followed by the company as per the lender's contract. So this is what is the contractual constraints. So in this way we see that these factors have to be taken into consideration whenever dividend decision is to be taken. But if the company doesn't pay dividend to its shareholders, then always it is going to affect the wealth of the shareholders. So decision should be taken keeping in mind, dividend decision should be taken keeping in mind that dividend decision should be taken keeping in mind that shareholders' wealth increases by value addition to their net worth, then only we can see that the financial management decisions has been properly taken in any organization. So we have completed the three types of financial decision, in which we have learned about investment decision, financing decision and dividend decision, and these three decisions should in turn lead to some value addition in shareholders' wealth. Then only we can see that the funds, they have been properly or optimally procured and utilized, and the objective of financial management, that is fulfilled. So with this we have completed this portion. In our next class we will be learning about financial planning. Till then, thank you.